Patrick CC, why fast food sucks now. So we're not gonna let no McDonald's slander, because McDonald's is the best fast food that ever exists. McDonald's, that's my shit, bro. No cap. Ooh, the huzz are texting.
I'm going to show you a few different modern fast food locations with the logos removed, and I want to see if you can guess which restaurant it is.
Oh god,
Here
I
is
can.
number 1.
That's Starbucks.
That is Panda
Fuck.
Express. Here is number 2.
KFC.
That is Arby's.
Fuck.
Here is number 3. That is Burger King. Here is
Wow.
number 4.
That's McDonald's.
That is Wendy's.
Oh my god.
Fast food restaurants in America have completely lost their identity, but it doesn't stop at these
That's
soulless
Mick.
gray
I
buildings.
always know the Mick.
Fast food used to be cheap, tasty, and most importantly, fast. And on top of that, the experience used to be fun.
Mick.
Today, the color is gone.
Shout out to the
prices
Mick,
for
man.
a meal
Got
are
me through
almost the
some hard
same as a
times.
regular restaurant, and the service is slower than ever. But this did not happen by accident. In fact, it's all by design. And today I'm going to break down why fast food today is colorless, expensive, and slow. And while it might sound like all hope is lost, there is something you can do to change it. And if enough of us do that, we just might be able to return to the glory days. Modern American fast food buildings are the perfect representation of the soul that's been sucked out of the industry. What used to be
Facts.
these creative architectural
Facts.
farmhouses have transformed into sterile gray boxes that are severely lacking identity.
Facts.
Some of them kind of look like modern homes,
I don't
some
know.
of them look like
What the fuck? This is a car wash.
banks, some of them
Oh,
just look
bank.
like corporate offices. But when you remove the logo, you genuinely could not tell what restaurant it was. Compare that to what this architectural illustrator posted on
Watch this. Pizza Hut. I don't know. The Mick. This some place. I recognize the colors. You know what I'm saying? Some chicken place. It's not. We don't have these in California though. Fuck if I know. In and Out. Actually, this might be Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. What the fuck is this? This looks like a church. Church's Chicken. Fucking, I don't fucking know. Sonic. I know this is Sonic.
Reddit.
fucking
Even
know.
without the logos, you can still tell which building belongs to each fast food brand. Or can
Facts.
you? I'll see if in the comments one of you gets all 12 correct. Early Taco Bell
I don't know.
locations were designed to evoke the look and feel of traditional Spanish and Mexican style architecture. The original buildings featured stucco
Bro,
walls,
I've
red
never
clay
seen these
tile
Taco
roofs,
Bells before.
exposed wooden beams, and
I guess
arched
I'm just old.
entryways.
I'm the young
now,
jit.
you get a gray
That-
box
this is
with
what
a
I
modern
see.
purple LED light. Pizza
Thanks.
Hut's red roof became such
Yeah,
an
dude,
iconic
that's
part of
Pizza
their
Hut.
design that now when a new business takes over the building and attempts to redesign, everyone knows it used to be a Pizza Hut. But
Facts.
today's Pizza Hut, yep, another
Nah,
gray box.
no cap. My Pizza Hut still got the job. If you know, you know. No cap.
McDonald's used to have these big glowing arches you could
McDonald's.
see
Love
from a mile
McDonald's over here.
away. I was surprised to find out that there are still a few locations that maintain that 1960s vintage look.
Not mine.
Take
We don't
this
got that.
Bloomington, Minnesota location,
What
for
is-
example. It still
this is
has the
ore.
massive arches on each side, the red and white stripe
Hey man, this video gets 1,000 likes. I'm gonna travel here. Flick up for the gram.
bricks around the edges, and red outline gives it this cartoonish but
1,000 likes.
welcoming
Oof.
vibe. But sometime in 2023, they decided to get rid of all that charm and paint it gray. During McDonald's nationwide boom in the 1970s, they made a major rebrand to build locations faster. The red mansard roofs with the yellow accents that were
Bro, I
supposed to
built this in
resemble French
Minecraft.
fries is what most people remember visiting throughout their childhood. There are still a few locations out there that haven't been modernized. This one in Dunedin, Florida looks absolutely beautiful with the palm trees and the bright blue
Facts.
sky.
It's
Or check
aura.
out this stunning Durham, North Carolina location. This
Oh my
photo
God,
was
I just
taken in
want- bro, I wanna
2021,
fuck up
but
a
it looks like
McValley
we
meal
took
in
a
here.
time machine back to 1993. Sadly, this one was also painted entirely gray in 2024. Even this
No.
location
Oh
outside
my
of Disney
God.
World looked like a theme park of its own. And I'm sad to admit that this creative masterpiece has been replaced by what looks like a corporate headquarters.
Oh my-
Now, one of
that
the main
lame as
reasons
hell.
behind the gray box trend is that it's a safer, smarter real estate investment. This strategy leans heavily on modular construction
fuck
and
is a
prefab
Hardee's?
standardized
Bro,
architecture.
no. Is it Carl's Jr.? Bro, I don't want to hear no one call Hardee's, bro. If you call Hardee's, you gay as fuck. 'Cause, like, let's go eat some Hardee's. Nigga, what? The fuck? Gay ass bitch.
When a previous
Fuck,
brand
I look
needed
like
a
eating
very
Hardee's.
specific build
White
out, which
Castle.
usually came down to
That's what I
their
was talking
custom
about.
roofs, it just cost more. And in a way, they're also preparing for their imminent failure, because these vague buildings can be transformed into just about any other business. In New Jersey, this Wendy's was transformed into a Burger King. In Missouri, this old Burger King was turned into a Wendy's. This former Taco Bell KFC combo was turned into a local pharmacy. And this former Arby's is now a local pizzeria. And to no surprise at all, the local pizzeria made a more charming and visually
So
interesting.
like it's not really like to say like they're betting on them, but just in case they do like go out of business, bro, you can sell that bitch easily. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting design.
Can't
Now,
sell
my
that
favorite
McDonald's
is
for
when
easy.
chains actually do the opposite of this, when they repurpose an old building, like this old bank in Wilmington, North Carolina that was transformed into a Dunkin' Donuts. It's undeniably smarter and probably
Bro.
more that was transformed
We going here for sure. 2,000 likes. We're going here. No cap.
into a Dunkin' Donuts. It's undeniably smarter and probably more sustainable to build buildings that can outlive the brand inside them, which will in turn reduce waste and provide opportunity to future businesses. But there's just something sad about it too. Each restaurant lost all its character. But it's not just the exterior that lost its character. The interior is where many of these places thrived. Stepping inside used to feel like entering a little world of its own. Taco Bell had these purple and teal art
We don't gotta talk about like this. Foster Freeze, bro. Foster Freeze got this shit.
Deco chairs, textured wall tiles, and neon squiggles that felt like walking
was
through a
Foster Freeze
90s
a Taco Bell?
arcade. People today would probably call this tacky, and they might not be wrong, but damn, it has an identity. But before we dive deeper, the other day I wasted hours trying to cancel all those subscriptions I forgot about. Luckily, number 3 is, but it doesn't stop at these. This form 1991 old school charm. Drop it in the comments because I want to see. But the blue and canceled subscriptions. Take control of your finances today to save more and spend less. The 1970s grandma aesthetic, wood-paneled walls,
what am I
stained
looking at?
glass lamps hanging above every table, plush burgundy booths, and soft yellow lighting that made it feel more like a cozy living room than a fast food joint. And these sunrooms? Dude, these sunrooms absolutely ripped. Pizza Hut felt like a legit sit-down restaurant with thick
Facts.
carpeting,
I remember I
red
used to
vinyl
go to
booths,
Pizza
and those
Hut.
iconic Tiffany-style lamps that turned every meal into a dimly lit occasion. McDonald's had burger seats. Look
I never went
at
to
these
McDonald's
burger
with this,
seats.
cuz.
Are they a little terrifying? Sure, but I think we can all agree that we want them back. And when management started encouraging a more kid-friendly atmosphere, almost every franchisee built massive playgrounds and indoor
Facts.
sets packed with massive
I remember
tubes,
fucking around
nets,
to these.
and ball
I'd always
pits
get
to
kicked
play
out,
in
though.
while the adults got to enjoy their meal. However, for years, McDonald's had been dealing with injury lawsuits where kids hurt themselves climbing around rope ladders and monkey bars. In a 5-year span alone, from 1986 to 1991, 1,500 injury claims were filed against
I swear,
McDonald's when
bro,
kids fell
actually,
off their
my
equipment
McDonald's still
or
has
got
this.
trapped in one of their structures. Hundreds, if not thousands of injuries went unreported, and not to mention the sanitation concerns. Even as a kid, I knew those things were filthy. Some
Right.
places have still tried to hang on to that old school charm well into the 2020s. I found this 1950s retro diner-inspired McDonald's location in Williamsburg, Virginia. They have a whole-ass 1957 Chevy on the inside just parked in the middle of the restaurant. This beautiful time capsule location was, you guessed it, grayed out and turned into another modernized hospital cafeteria a few years ago. A
Hospital
location in
cafeteria.
Bensonhurst, Brooklyn was redesigned to a 1980s theme for a Marvel movie, and to no surprise at all, everyone loves it. And even though it still doesn't look like a true time capsule, it's just enough retro and modern combined to give the place a lot more soul. And if you're watching this
Beard's
and you have a fast
character.
food location near you that still has some old school charm, drop it in the comments because I
Bro,
want to
Peggy
see. But the
Sue's. Ooh,
blueprint for
W
the
H.
modern fast food gray box, the minimalism, the neutral tone textured wallpaper, the IKEA chairs that hurt to sit in, the inoffensive abstract
Bro,
art,
this is
the
what my
dim
Panda
industrial
Express
lighting,
looks like.
it can all be blamed on Chipotle. Chipotle's early 2000s expansion marked a turning
Fuck
point in
Chipotle,
the
no
fast food
cap.
industry. Their concept was called
Okay.
fast casual.
Hey, fuck Chipotle. Fuck that bitch that love Chipotle. You know what I'm saying?
casual. You still got your food quickly, but the experience felt more elevated. The menu was simple, the ingredients were marketed as fresher, and the interiors ditched the kid-friendly chaos in favor of something more modern. Because of this, they were able to charge a higher price, and teenagers, college kids, and young professionals were more than willing to pay. But they weren't just paying for vibes. Those 2010s Chipotle burritos were massive. You used to get at least 2 servings of food for one price, which made it comparable to 2 fast food trips. Chipotle's success came at a time when McDonald's and other giants were on a rapid decline. In 2003, McDonald's stock price fell to a 9-year low, and in Q4 of 2023 was the first net loss in profits they ever had, losing $344 million. Public pressure around junk food intensified during this period. The Super Size Me documentary further tarnished the company's brand. The doc followed Morgan Spurlock, who ate at McDonald's restaurants 3 times a day every day for a month, consuming every item on the chain's menu at least once. At the end of the experiment, the 32-year-old had gained 24.5 pounds, a 13% body mass increase, increased his cholesterol to dangerous levels, and became the proof the media needed to paint fast food as the face of America's obesity crisis. So while McDonald's scrambled to repair its image, Chipotle was thriving, offering a cleaner, simpler, healthier experience that looked and felt like the opposite of everything fast food had become. In response, McDonald's started the Forever Young campaign to transform the playground feel into a cafe-style space. What resulted was a push for a more contemporary aura, accented by terracotta, olive, and gray colors paired with wooden furniture. Of course, other fast food restaurants saw this change and followed suit. I also believe McDonald's that the success of Starbucks and maybe even the Apple Store had a
is like losing. They both.
big impact on the aesthetics of fast food chains. Starbucks proved that people would pay a premium price to hang around in a space that felt upscale, and Apple taught the entire retail world that an ultra-minimalist design could signal trust and quality. Today, seemingly every fast food chain takes a little bit of inspiration from Chipotle, Starbucks, and the Apple Store, which has majorly contributed to them losing what made them special in the first place. Fast food restaurants were meant to be bold, fun, and kid-friendly, or even calm and cozy sit-downs for the family. But designers Lynn Rosenbaum and Michael Munchoff told the YouTube channel Cheddar that the design choices are nothing more than a marketing tactic.
We have to be perceived as new and fresh and offering food that is new and fresh. What has changed within our restaurants? We want to communicate that to the customer.
I'm good, bro. If the Mick was serving out of a box, I'll still eat the Mick. If the Mick was some 5-star restaurant, I eat the Mick. The Mick is just that good, no cut.
The easiest way to do that is through architecture and interior design.
How can we make it look healthier, but not actually make it healthier? That's basically the gist. I don't think any logical person is expecting fast food to be healthy, but the risk used to be worth the reward. Because beyond the building design and modern branding, it seems like they aren't even trying to make the food look or taste good anymore. The burgers aren't even close to as advertised, with buns flat as a pancake and lettuce that looks like it was left out all night. Places like KFC refuse to change the oil in their fryers, so you can't even taste the chicken anymore, and those so-called crispy fries you ordered look like they were defrosted, placed under a heat lamp, and served without anyone noticing they missed a crucial step. Even legendary YouTuber The Report of the Week, who has spent the past decade reviewing fast food menu items, just about had a meltdown over the decline in quality and service across every big chain in the US after countless bad experiences in 2023.
Instances not as bad as this, but where there have been problems with my order, with the quality,
it's
just collapsing more and more. And it's not just Culver's. It's every place.
The fuck is
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Taco Bell, you name it. There have been so many places, and I'm sure you've noticed this, that I've reviewed in the last couple years, where the food has just been awful. It's quite frankly disgusting. I hate when this happens, and what bothers me even more is when it's becoming more and more of the norm. When I'm trying out these sorts of items, and time and again, it's some burnt piece of garbage.
I don't like this guy.
It's some just vile slop, for lack of a better word. And it's getting to the point now where pretty much every other item that I review is just, it's disgusting. in some way or another. Or it's just so overpriced that it might be alright, but it's like you're burning your money. What's even the point?
But even if fast food companies lost the fun, lost the undeniable guilty pleasure taste, at least it's still cheap, right? Nope. Chick-fil-A, Arby's, Wendy's, Jimmy John's, Chipotle, Taco Bell, Popeyes, and McDonald's all raised their prices by 55 to 100% between 2014 and 2024. Most of us can remember a time where $5 could fill you up at most restaurants. Maybe you'd
Hey man, go to Mick, get a McValue meal, $5, all you need. I'll be filled up.
snag a couple of grillers or a fill-up box from Taco Bell, a McDouble, McChicken, and fries, a famous bowl from KFC, and even if you wanted to get full meals, you'd still spend less than $10. What I found shocking is that Columbus, Ohio has the most affordable fast food in the country, but meals still cost $10 on average. Most cities average $12 to $13 for a fast food meal, and I can say with certainty, at least where I live, that there are plenty of local restaurants serving way better food for $13. Some McDonald's locations were charging as high as $18 for a Big Mac meal. In 2024, the McDonald's president Joe Erlinger attempted to address many of the concerns that Americans had with McDonald's prices significantly rising. What's funny is that they made this graphic that claims to debunk a bunch of myths, while claiming that the facts state that they have only raised their prices by 20 to 40% since 2019. Like they put this obnoxious claim as a myth. McDonald's medium fries increased by 138%, just to attempt to soften the blow when they say that the fact is that the average price of a medium fries was a 44% increase. Like we're supposed to be like, oh, only a 44% increase for fries that are soggy, cold, and take 20 minutes to get. Ah, that's so much better.
The Mick got the best fries. Drop down in the comments who got the best fries. Me personally, I'm going with the Mick.
Than 138%. The reality is that fast food has entirely changed its value proposition to customers in America. It's no longer about being cheap, it's about being lazy. A professor of marketing at Johns Hopkins said, "These chains are not charity organizations. They're not trying to serve cheap food to people who are complaining about high prices. They're trying to get people who have either stopped going to the store or never went there." I suspect the value pricing approach is working for McDonald's. Okay. So, they killed the vibes, ruined the taste, charged way too much money. Is it at least still fast? Well, kinda. The speed of service has drastically decreased as Americans become more dependent on the drive-thru. America runs on urgency. Our cities are built to drive around, not stop and hang out in. Our work weeks are packed, our commutes are long, and our breaks are short. Everything in our culture tells us to move faster, work more, and consume more. So we designed an entire meal experience around not having to stop moving. Pull up in your car, order before you speak to a person, get your food in a brown bag, and don't even look inside until you're already merging onto the highway, and stuff the fries down your throat with one hand while the other is on the wheel. Drive-thrus aren't about convenience. They're a survival mechanism for a society that doesn't have time to sit down. But now even that convenience is starting to collapse. What used to be a 3 to 5 minute pit stop has turned into a 15+ minute wait behind a line of frustrated drivers. Even places like In-N-Out are facing major problems, with lines that literally cause traffic on the highways next to them. Pretty much every Chick-fil-A I've ever been to around lunchtime has 2 rows of 20+ cars bumper to bumper. Many locations are trying to combat these frustrating wait times by having staff walk around with iPads so you can get that somewhat satisfaction that your order is being taken care of, but it doesn't make the food come out any faster. Now you might think that removing drive-thrus in some locations or incentivizing walk-ins would somehow speed things up, but fast food restaurants have done their homework. Research shows that 47% of US consumers would simply avoid going to a store that doesn't have a drive-thru, and twice as many people prefer using the drive-thru to going in store. And that's because of the American go culture, as well as us not prioritizing eating as a meaningful experience. It's just another task to check off the list. Meals in other countries are a cultural staple, a time to slow down, talk, share, and connect. Americans treat eating as something you do out of necessity between meetings, in traffic, or while staring at your phone. And I'm talking to you, who's literally eating a meal while watching
this. You stupid bitch,
no
the fuck I'm not. I'm watching this. Sorry, post a YouTube video, you stupid fucking whore.
Now, the obsession with quick service, combined with fast food's obsession with...
Fuck you, I'm about to go get some food now. Or I'm gonna edit that out. No cap.
margins is slowly turning these restaurants into massive robotic garages, like this concept released by Taco
Kind
Bell
of
in
tough, I'm not gonna lie.
2022 for their new vision for making service easier than ever before, or the new designs Chick-fil-A is rolling out that prioritize quick service, or Jimmy John's cutting down the size of their restaurant
Oh
to
my
resemble
God.
more of a studio apartment. To make it even more streamlined, restaurants are releasing AI menu stands that replace human staff members, and the responses have been mixed, with some customers praising the decision and others arguing this is one step further in the wrong direction. So correct
Facts.
orders and no more attitudes for no reason? More jobs with human contact are going away. With fast food restaurants doing everything they can to make service seamless and Americans demanding even more convenience, how far away are we from a robotic arm extending from a building and just dumping the food right into our
But there used to be a store where I live. It was just like that. All the people that made the food, they would put it in there. They would put it in the machine. The machine would give us the food.
mouths. But as grim as the future looks, there is a way to fight this. There is a way to demand change, get better quality food, better prices, better speeds, and an all-around better experience. The solution is quite simple, and it's being implemented all over the world. Fast food is better outside of America, not just by opinion, but by design. Many nations have stricter regulations on food quality, preservatives, and sourcing. In places like Japan, France, or Germany, the ingredients are often fresher, the portions are more balanced, and the presentation is far more respectful of the dining experience. But this change didn't necessarily happen out of respect, it was by force. Like in France, when 5 activist farmers tore down a McDonald's that was being built in the southern town of Malawi in August 1999. They handed out Roquefort cheese at the protest, which they said was to denounce US import restrictions and hormone-treated beef. But this was a calculated attack. In that same week, French farmers dumped 6 tons of manure on a McDonald's restaurant in Arles. This was a symbol of resistance against American food imperialism.
Fast food not supposed to be healthy, bro. It's supposed to be fast. You think a burger that they make in 5 minutes is gonna be healthy? Not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes gonna be healthy. No, it's not gonna be fucking healthy, you stupid dickhead.
Imperialism and the spread of unhealthy, standardized meals. And it wasn't just about the food, they were defending culture, agriculture, and tradition. And it worked. French consumers began demanding locally sourced ingredients, and McDonald's responded. Today, around 75% of the food served in McDonald's France is sourced domestically. Now, this doesn't mean go and destroy your local McDonald's, but it is proof that a protest goes a long way. Also, McDonald's Europe became the first...
Nah, a protest, that's a riot. Lock them up. Throw away the key, don't let them out.
First food service retailer in many markets to sell Marine Stewardship Council certified sustainable fish. The MSC is widely considered the gold standard certification for sustainable wild-caught seafood, because if they did not meet these standards, then European countries would simply not allow them to serve fish. In India, they mostly don't serve beef or pork items due to religious values held by the citizens. In China, they serve taro pies. Taro is a plant native to Southeast Asia whose roots and leaves are used for food in this region. In Saudi Arabia, 100% of their menu must be halal. Therefore, all products served at McDonald's restaurants are inspected and approved by local authorities and Islamic inspectors at the countries of export. The point is, McDonald's and other fast food restaurants will abide by socio-cultural, religious, food preferences, and environmental factors, or they will simply not be allowed to serve food in that country. And they might even complement the country with a vibey atmosphere. They'll serve food in decommissioned planes in New Zealand, a colorful building pagoda in China, or a ski up in Sweden. The end result, better service, colorful building pagoda in China, or a ski up in Sweden. The end result, better service, better food, better vibes, and customers who treat eating as something worth sitting down for. All of these point to the fact that fast food restaurants can still be colorful, fun, cheap, and have the best quality food available for their meals. It's just that they only change when people finally start to walk away. This is not the answer you want, but it is the truth. Sure, the buildings are gray and bland. Sure, the service is slow. Sure, the food doesn't taste as good, and corporate greed is driving up the price. But you can protest. You can just stop going, and they will...
Alright, we get it. Bro, the problem with this is this. Look. the U.S. is not like other countries. Other countries, you could walk around other countries. You don't need a car. In the U.S., you need a car to get around. So like, we don't got time. And obviously, in the U.S., socially, and like, you most likely don't got time. If you eating fast food, you don't got time to sit down and eat. Or you would have just made the food at home. So, yeah. Make sure to like, subscribe. Yeah.